Okay, guys, welcome back to another episode of SSN StarCraft. That just sounds weird to say. StarCraft Inc. Yeah! Alright, the reason I'm starting 7 minutes late is because I was playing a game that went a little longer than I ever would have thought it did. And I'm gonna cast it because, as you guys know, I've been having a lot of trouble with my PvT, but I think it's come a long way. I'm still a little sloppy, but you guys tell me what you think. This is a game between myself and Chicken Tenda. Wait, actually, I don't think this is, no, this isn't the game. Oh Jesus, this isn't the game. That's not it. Sorry guys. Reload that bitch. Alright, why isn't it here? It's not even in my, oh, I know why it's not here. I know why. Because of my StarCraft 2 gears. I don't know if you guys have ever used SE2 gears. What it does is it saves your replays and gives you an analysis of those games. Hold on one sec. StarCraft 2 gears. It's here somewhere. SE2 gears replays. And what's the date today? Today is the 19th. And I believe this is the game. Hopefully this is the one. Alright, there's my email address, guys. You can all stalk me now or hack my account or whatever you feel like doing. Also know how many digits my password is, so hop on that guessing train. And, yeah. Hopefully this is it. This is the one! Super Sloth! SSN Incarnum versus Super Sloth. This is a PvT on Antigua Shipyards. And for those of you who don't play this map, you should, because it's a good one. For those of you who don't know who I am, you should, because well, I'm a good one. And this Terran over here, not so much a good one. I'm just tossing that out there. He's Super Sloth, a little bit BM, not a great guy, I can't say. Asked him if I had just played him, because I just played a Terran player, and I thought it might be this guy, but it wasn't. According to him, I didn't even check the match history. It might have been. So, for those of you who play Protoss, for those of you who play Terran, I'm probably going to look at this game from my point of view, and maybe I'll tell you guys what I was thinking about. Wow. That's like almost the Star of David right there. It's got some art shit going on. I don't even know. Look at this. What's going on? What's going on? Alright, anyway. So I did not see that. If I did, I probably would have left the game. Those right there were demon signs. I don't know. And but yeah, no, I'm just gonna kind of, like I said, I'm gonna walk through what I would think about. We might even look at it from my point of view. Actually, let's do that. So right now, obviously, scouting his base, doing my thing, and I'm gonna opt to chrono probes because I will be going for a fast expand. But not an extremely fast expand. I've been tampering with a lot of 1-gate expands. I feel that you can't so much get away with it in Platinum League, not because, you know, my micro isn't good enough to survive, but mostly because the players in Platinum League aren't greedy enough a lot of the time. I get all in more often than I play a macro game with my opponent because that's just what people try to do to me. They see me taking a scary fast expansion, they panic, and they try to all-in me. So what we're going to see here is, you know, I'm going to go for like it's a 3-gate expand, getting my gas pretty standard as normal, going to get a Cyber Core right after, and just kind of cruise on into the regular game. If we do want to just kind of look at this guy, you know, he's doing his thing, he's getting his expansion. Now, I don't know how good this guy is. I think he was in Diamond League, top of Diamond League, rank 16, something like that. But he's going for a really fast expansion too, so that works out for me. His expansion is actually going to be a lot sooner than mine because I tend to go for this 3-gate expand now, which I'm really comfortable with. I think it's really safe, but it doesn't put your expansion really far behind either. I think, honestly, a couple seconds on an expansion isn't a huge deal. And I think what makes a big difference in the long run is your transitions out of that expansion and the tech choices you choose to make. Now, there were a lot of mistakes that I've made. Of course, I'm not a pro gamer whatsoever, and I just want you guys to know that up front. Don't think I'm like, this is how you play PvT, and I'm a god, and I also like eating things that make me sick inside, like paint thinner. But that's not completely true. I don't even know where to go with that. But anyway, SSN Incarnate right here with his Stalker. The other game, I sent my first Stalker to the Watchtower because, you know, that's the map control thing to do. And when I did that, a single Hellion rolled up my ramp after I had one gate expanded and started killing Proby probes. I wasn't too fond of that. So as you can see, his expansion's done now. He's going to be getting that orbital command. But what a lot of people don't know is Nexuses actually build faster than command centers do. And on top of this time it takes to make it an orbital command, you know, I'm going to be able to get my Nexus halfway done and we'll be kind of on par. And I've been building harvesters this whole time, so I am ahead of him, 23 to 20. He's going to be making a little bit more money than me, thanks to that mule right there. But that's alright. And hopping back over to me, as you can see, just that 3 gate, the double gas, getting the warp gate. My expansion's right here. I did smash a probe into his ramp just to see what his army comp was, because I never got a chance to get inside his base. I did see Marines, I saw that bunker, I knew this expansion was going up. So, I knew I was pretty safe. I've got this tower, I'm watching it, I see the Marine coming, so I'm going to pull my guy off the tower. Of course, I always use probes that have minerals in their hands. That's what you do. It's like putting your money in a bank. You know, it surprises you later. You see that probe and you're like, oh, this is great. This is fantastic. I didn't know I had that money. It's just a pleasant surprise later. So yeah, you guys should don't ever do that. Don't do it. So I do come and clear this tower out with my Stalker because yeah, I don't know what he thought was gonna happen. Maybe he'll just leave me here. No, I'm not going to leave you here. So I bring my Stalker back. Boom, map vision. Woo! I like it. So, I feel safe leaving my Stalker there now that, you know, of course, I have Warp Tech and I can defend my base. Of course, I'm going to leave my sentry here at the top of the ramp because if something were to push up my ramp right now, I couldn't defend it on the low ground. I would have to defend it on the high ground until my next cycle of units. But because I know he's expanding, because I know that pressure is unlikely, I will be getting extra production. I will be getting my tech and trying to get myself just ready to go. I'm not going to grab my double gas quite yet, but I will be getting it soon. Just spending gas on sentry because I do need minerals for this production. Getting my observer out right away because I want that that vision of his base. I don't know what he's doing at all right now, and that makes me really nervous. And right now, Super Sloth, he's got a few units. He's got this bunker. That's going to keep him safe. And around the 8-minute mark, like, he's doing the same thing as I am. That's why he's got so few units. If you watch Day 9, he talks about this as well. You know, when your opponent fast expands and then he goes into his standard metagame, there's two things he can do. He can have a huge army, or he can get, you know, and if he does that, he's not going to have the medevacs. Or he can go for a little bit of an itty-bitty army and get these nice early medevacs. He's got his starport, he's got the reactor, he's got everything set up. As soon as he can afford it, you can bet that he's going to, you know, start pumping out medevacs like a motherfucker. Now, I've got an observer here somewhere, I believe. There it is. Yeah, you can't even see that bit. I'm surprised he didn't notice it. Although that's a pretty sweet spot for it. It's like right on the building there. But yeah, I think I would have noticed that. I don't know why he didn't. But anyway, yeah, so I do have that spotting. I'm mostly there. I don't care about the unit comp so much. I know it's Marine Marauder. What I'm looking for is those medevacs. So he does not have any on the field yet. 2 are on the way. As soon as I see those, that's when I'm going to be like, oh shit. So he comes here and he tries to block the tower. And I'm like, wow, you cocksucker. So I'm going to warp in a couple stalkers. I'm going to go back and get that map vision. That map vision is so important. Because, like, around the 10-minute mark, like exactly like you see, that's when my opponent gets those dropships. That's when he has them. And that's when I need to start defending for drops. So my units were up here. With that tower, that lets me know when my opponent is coming across the map with a ground army, and it allows me to really get in position with my army at home. So now that I've forced him off the tower, he will be sending his army down the road at me. And I'm not going to switch back to his vision, because this is when shit gets real. I do, in fact, want to get my observer. I know I have a second observer somewhere. Not sure where it is. I did make it. There it is. There it is. So I'm going to get the second observer into position right here. That's where his army is going to sit a lot of the time. Now, there is a bit of a pickle that I want to talk about right here. This Terran army has a couple options. He can come with his entire army straight up my ramp, or he can pick up in chunks, like pick up half his army and unload here. So if he does something like that, I have to get under it. I have to get under it so bad. And so he will load up a large amount. I see that that's what he's doing. I try to get under it here with my zealots. He's going to bail on that. He's going to try to go here. I realize that he's going both ways. That's what she said. And I do wall that off so that I can cover this high ground and give my army time to get down there. I've got the observer on the army. He can't get up yet. Just in time for my army to get down here on the low ground. And I have way too many zealots here for him to deal with. Way too many zealots. We do have charge finished. Perfect timing there. And I almost get that medevac. I do get the medevac. Beautiful. And I don't want... That was a little bit of miscontrol from my part. He got way more damage off of my zealots than he needed to. And I needed to let him get. He might even let me get this next medevac here. That'd be fantastic. I do get the second medevac. And charge procs again. And I will follow him down. But, yeah, no. I'm going to pull back off and just kind of recuperate. I'm going to start to drop more units up here. Adding tech. Once you defend, you can either tech or expand. It's not really safe to do both. If you're ballsy, you can try it. But I'd like to do one or the other. So I will get... although it looks like I am going to try to expand too. So it looks like I'm being ballsy. That's how it goes. And, yeah, so I'm going to drop that expansion. Hold on, taking a drink. I do really need some more map vision. Because I don't have blink, I'm getting blink now. Because I don't have it yet, it's good to sit your zealots up here. Now if he flies over them and lands back here, you gotta make sure you get there. That's what the single cannon there is for. Just kind of buys your zealots time. I do have this gateway that's not morphed. I don't know why I haven't caught that yet. And there's a nice big army sitting right here. Now that kind of thing really makes me uncomfortable. It really makes me antsy. I always want to engage that, but it's really a good idea not to go after it, especially if you don't have Storm. The second you have Storm, you can in fact push out on something like that, but as a Protoss player, really don't go out of your base. You don't need to leave. Him sniping that observer was such a big deal because it makes me so uncomfortable not knowing where he is. So I do have these hotkeyed. I do have them under my control. I am ready with those zealots on the high ground. I'm going to try to engage him here. A couple Archons here. Those Archons will help a lot. And feedback going down on the medevac. Just trying to do whatever I can until those zealots get down here. He focuses down my immortals, and that's huge for him as well. And I do hold off that attack quite comfortably once again, leaving my third completely safe and standing. So his pressure is becoming a little bit futile for him right now. He's got quite a bit of stuff now out again. I think he wants to just shove it down my throat. He just wants to pound me back. But I do have Storm. I do have an upgrade advantage. I believe he's at 1-0, whereas I am working on 2-2, I believe. Yep. So I should even have 2-2 already by now. I've been slow on my upgrades. I'm going to get some DTs out on the map. I'm going to force some scans, as you can see. And a little bit of engagement here. Great Storm goes down on those Marine Marauder medevac, and I will push him back once again. These DTs continue to cross the map. Going to meet up with some Marines in the midfield. Going to meet up with his reinforcements. Forcing a scan here. Forcing a scan there. And DTs are just so huge. So these DTs are going to get right up into his line. And they're going to... I wasn't watching these at all, but they do start to go for the Planetary Fortress. And a scan will thwart those. I really should have gone for SCVs, but I wasn't paying attention. I was busy home macroing. I'm going to try to get this saturated. And I don't quite want those gases filled yet. I did have a DT up here. He manages to pull up a missile turret and stop those. And my 2-2s are done, working on 3s. and that's a big deal. It's the upgrade advantage that you need so bad, because he will, as long as you're on charge lot Archon Storm, he will always have the mobility advantage. You can't fight him with this army comp and use Stalkers until you have more shit than him. Until you just have like pure advantage. That's when you can switch to Stalkers, but your Stalkers are just too soft with that many Marauders on the field with the Medivacs. You just can't DPS down hard enough. Zealots have such good DPS when they can make contact with your opponent. And, you know, even when they're not making contact, that army has to stim to get away from you. I did see this drop coming before it landed. And I will be able to stop that quite easily. And that's not a good drop for him at all. He lost quite a few Marines there. And took damage to his medevac, so it will be softer for when I go to engage it in the next fight. But yeah, a lot of people are frustrated with the fact that Marines can stim run and shit, like the Bio can stim and run and run and run. But you have to know that when they're stimming to get away from your Zealots, yes, they're doing damage to your Zealots, but every time they stim, they take so much damage to their entire army, and that's huge. So, if you ever find that you're floating money, just add gateways, just add gateways. This is a big mistake that I made. I rallied my Robo Bay right there, and so I had these observers sitting here doing nothing. Now, it's a lot better, you might not agree, it's a lot better though to take this expansion if they don't have siege tanks. If they don't have siege tanks, than it is to take this expansion, because this expansion is so difficult to defend against drops. But if you can get a good sized army, this is a good base to take. Look, he's going to come in here and he's going to try to aggress it, but he has to leave. If he tries to fight that, he's going to lose his entire army so one-sidedly. I will push up here, and I think he gets a really good EMP off on me. He does, and I couldn't figure it out right away. I was trying to storm. I didn't see that EMP go down, but that 1 DT in my army is such a big deal. And I've got these pylons here, so I can do a huge warp into Zealots now. Good force field went down, letting me cut up a lot of army that was up in front. And he just had more than me, and those EMPs helped him out so much. They allowed him to detect my DTs. He's got a lot of ghosts here, which do a lot of damage to my charge lots. Because if you get the bonus damage against light. And so I will be over here trying my best to keep up. I'm going to try to drop more gates, but I am running low on money. But the gateway count is what's allowing me to stay in this game. Once I have this gold expo, that's going to be big for me too. And the DTs are just used to scatter and force scans. It makes him spend money on things he doesn't want to spend on. So as long as I can keep the shields up, like if he's only doing damage to shields here on this Nexus, it's such a big deal. And I say that a lot, I realize. Big deal. I'm a big deal. Don't worry about it. But, yeah. If I can keep him from doing any hull damage to this Nexus, those shields will regenerate, and I can, like, hold on to this for a very long time. So, that's pretty awesome. And like I said, when you defend a push, you can expand, or tech. And as you saw, you can do both, but you have to know you're safe. You have to know for sure that you can do that, and that comes from practice, that comes from scouting, that comes from understanding what your opponent can produce and what he does, what it means. And I can't really give you a list of rules because it's so different from game to game. It just comes from games played. You'll understand eventually, but ultimately, when you defend a wicked, crazy push, you tend to be able to expand. So he's just going to bathe in my storms. I'm going to fill a bathtub up full of psionic storm for you, and you can just splash around for a while. That's cool. He has a bunch of ghosts here that are cloaked, and they're going to get my Templar, which is just a wicked pickup for him. But my charge lots are making just origami out of his Marines over here, and that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Those ghosts, man, they're picking me apart, and it's all because I forgot my these 3 observers sitting right here. Ah, it's so frustrating that I forgot that. And he will go for my line again. I want to wait a second so I can build up a little bit of a ball, and I will come at him again. Those Archons are going to be tricky for his ghosts to deal with. The fact that those ghosts cloaked could be their downfall because they cannot EMP my Archons and Zealots anymore. There's a nice big ball of bile waiting for me right here, and I do not want to engage that. That ghost will attempt to cloak again. I'm trying to get my observers up here. I do have observers now, so that's going to help me out quite a bit. Oh dear. Wow, I didn't even realize I lost all 3 of those. That's hilarious. I do have 1 more, because I did chrono out. I chrono out a couple more out of my Robo Bay when I thought I didn't have any, and then I found those 3 sitting around, so. But yeah, wow, I just lost 3 observers in like a half a second. That's hilarious. So, Archon getting ahead of itself. I didn't mean to do that. You can see, guys, that I'm really sloppy. A lot of my mechanics and controls are not great. These DTs are fantastic. Just having a couple DTs out on the map makes such a big difference. They force him scanning so that those are less mules, and they kill units while he's not scanning. And I'm a faggot, ladies and gentlemen, and I hope you enjoyed this game. So the way I'm going to run these is, if you're watching this live, if you see this on YouTube, don't worry about it. But if you're watching this live, in between games, I'm going to cut the stream. I'm going to load up a new game, and I'm going to launch the stream again. So don't worry, I'm coming back. I'm actually going to talk to you guys for a second in the chat. We'll see who's here. SSN, yeah. So just checking in on you guys. What's up? How many viewers do I even have? Haha. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to cut the stream, and I'll be right back.